Water ride will not reopen this summer.
Australia's biggest theme park.
Killed at a Kansas water park.
Accident at a brand new water park and was caught on camera.
Water parks are often seen as thrilling havens for fun and relaxation, but beneath the surface lies the potential for danger.
A helicopter joined the search for Kyra, but her father says the emergency services weren't called for more than 30 minutes.
Over the years, a series of tragic and disturbing incidents have highlighted the darker side of these attractions. From catastrophic mechanical failures to lapses in safety protocols, this list examines 15 of the most harrowing deaths at water parks, reminding us of the importance of vigilance in the pursuit of entertainment.
Hello, we're at Adventureland Park. There's been an accident on the yellow ride that we're on right now.
Caleb Schwab at Schlitterbahn Water Park, Kansas City, 2016.
The latest on the 10-year-old boy killed at a Kansas water park on what is known as the world's tallest water slide. That slide now closed as we learn new details about the tragedy.
The tragic death of 10-year-old Caleb Schwab at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City remains one of the most shocking incidents in water park history. On August 7, 2016, Caleb was riding the Viaduct, which, at the time, was touted as the world's tallest water slide, standing at an astonishing 168 feet. The slide, whose name means crazy in German, lived up to its name in a horrific way. Caleb's raft went airborne after cresting the first massive hill. The ride's safety netting, designed to prevent riders from falling off, became a fatal hazard when the raft struck a metal support bar, decapitating Caleb. The two adult women sharing the raft with him suffered serious facial injuries. Witness accounts described the scene as chaotic and horrifying, and news of the incident quickly spread, sparking outrage and calls for accountability.
We're going to turn now to an accident at a brand new water park and was caught on camera.
The aftermath revealed a troubling history of safety concerns. Designers of the Viaduct bypassed standard testing protocols, opting for speed over safety to meet the ride's ambitious timeline. Evidence emerged that engineers ignored warnings from consultants who flagged the ride as potentially dangerous. The park faced lawsuits from Caleb's family and significant public backlash. Criminal charges were filed against the park's executives and designers, alleging negligence and reckless endangerment, though these charges were ultimately dismissed. Kyra Hill at Liquid Leisure Windsor, UK, 2022. On August 6, 2022, Kyra Hill, an 11-year-old girl, drowned during a birthday party at Liquid Leisure Windsor in Berkshire, UK.
Celebrate one of her best friend's birthday parties, but she never made it home. And as you heard there, her father Leonard told me that ripped the family to pieces.
The tragedy occurred at a popular water park known for its inflatable obstacle courses on a lake. Kyra was reported missing after she failed to return from the water, triggering a frantic search. Despite rescue efforts, her body was discovered over an hour later, marking a devastating end to what should have been a joyous celebration. An inquest into Kyra's death revealed alarming safety lapses at the park. Witnesses reported a lack of visible lifeguards and inadequate supervision of the crowded water attractions. It was later found that the park did not have clear emergency protocols in place, and the staff appeared unprepared to handle a critical situation. Parents and guests expressed frustration over delays in the search, noting that precious time was lost due to disorganization.
The distraught, a mother distraught, and obviously myself and surrounding family members, but it's ripped my family up.
The investigation further revealed that Liquid Leisure lacked proper warning signs and failed to conduct pre-activity safety briefings.
A helicopter joined the search for Kyra, but her father says the emergency services weren't called for more than 30 minutes.
These oversights, coupled with staff shortages, contributed to the tragedy. In response, the park was fined £110,000 and ordered to implement stricter safety measures, including hiring additional lifeguards and updating emergency procedures. Kyra's death sparked nationwide debates about water park safety and the responsibility of operators to protect their guests. Advocacy groups called for tougher regulations and mandatory staff training to prevent future incidents. Kyra's family campaigned for greater accountability and better public awareness of water safety, turning their grief into a mission to ensure no other family suffers a similar loss. Transval Park roof collapse, Moscow, Russia, 2004. On February 14, 2004, a catastrophic roof collapse at Transval Park, an indoor water park in Moscow, Russia, shocked the nation and claimed the lives of 28 people, including 8 children. Over 100 others were injured in the incident, making it one of the deadliest structural failures in modern recreational history. The collapse occurred on a busy Saturday afternoon when the park was teeming with visitors.
2,000 visitors at a time. During the harsh Russian winters, park-goers could tan in solariums, while the outside temperatures could drop to 14 degrees Fahrenheit.
Without warning, the dome-shaped roof, spanning thousands of square feet, gave way, burying guests under massive slabs of concrete and debris. Rescue operations were immediate, but challenging due to the scale of the destruction and freezing temperatures. Survivors recounted scenes of chaos as they struggled to escape the crumbling structure. Initial investigations pointed to structural flaws in the roof's design and construction. Experts found that the weight of accumulated snow and ice exceeded what the structure could bear, highlighting a failure to account for Moscow's harsh winter conditions. Further analysis revealed that cost-cutting measures and inadequate oversight during construction may have contributed to the disaster. The building's design, which featured a large unsupported dome, was deemed particularly vulnerable to stress. The tragedy sparked widespread outrage and led to criminal charges against several individuals, including engineers and contractors involved in the park's construction. While some were convicted, others avoided accountability, leaving lingering questions about Russia's building safety standards and enforcement. In the aftermath, Transval Park was permanently closed and its ruins were demolished. The incident prompted nationwide reforms in building codes, emphasizing stricter compliance and routine inspections to prevent similar disasters. However, for the victims and their families, the changes came too late. Adventureland Park, Raging River Ride, Iowa, 2021.
The ride has been closed since 11-year-old Michael Jaramillo was killed on it in 2021.
On July 3, 2021, a family outing at Adventureland Park in Altoona, Iowa, turned tragic when a raft on the Raging River Ride overturned, resulting in the death of 11-year-old Michael Jaramillo and injuries to 3 other family members.
River Ride will ever reopen. 11-year-old Michael Jaramillo.
The incident, which occurred just days after the ride reopened for the summer season, raised serious questions about ride safety and emergency protocols. The Raging River Ride, a popular attraction simulating whitewater rafting, used large circular rafts designed to carry multiple passengers. On this fateful day, the Jaramillo family's raft flipped mid-ride, trapping them underwater. Bystanders and park staff rushed to their aid, but delays in extracting the passengers and initiating emergency measures proved critical. Michael's brother David was left in critical condition, but eventually survived.
Trying to grab each other, grab us. They wanted us to help them. We couldn't do it. I will never get a chance to see him grow up.
An investigation revealed significant safety lapses. Reports indicated that the ride's mechanical systems were outdated, and prior complaints about malfunctioning rafts had gone unaddressed. Furthermore, inspectors found that the ride's seatbelts and restraint systems were insufficient to prevent passengers from being ejected or trapped during accidents. Questions were also raised about staff training, as witnesses described a lack of preparedness in handling the emergency. The tragedy led to a temporary closure of Adventureland Park and an extensive review of its attractions. The park's operators faced lawsuits from the Jaramillo family, who called for stricter safety regulations to prevent similar incidents. State authorities conducted audits of amusement parks across Iowa, resulting in the implementation of more rigorous safety standards and inspections.
101 address to emergency.
Hello, we're at Adventureland Park. There's been an accident on the yellow ride that we're on right now.
Wild Rivers Water Park, California, 2024. On July 15, 2024, tragedy struck at Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine, California, when a 12-year-old boy suffered a sudden medical emergency and later passed away. The incident, which occurred during what should have been a fun-filled day, left park goers and staff in shock and raised questions about emergency preparedness at recreational facilities. According to witnesses, the boy appeared to be enjoying a day at the park with his family when he suddenly collapsed near a popular water slide. Lifeguards and medical staff immediately rushed to his aid, performing CPR and utilizing an automated external defibrillator, AED. Despite their efforts, the boy was pronounced dead shortly after being transported to a nearby hospital. Park officials expressed their condolences to the family and pledged full cooperation with the authorities to understand the circumstances of his death. While the exact cause of the medical emergency was not disclosed, initial reports indicated that it was not directly water-related. Speculation pointed to the possibility of an underlying medical condition, but the family chose to keep the details private. The tragedy reignited discussions about the role of pre-screening for medical conditions and the importance of park safety protocols in responding to unexpected emergencies. In the wake of the incident, Wild Rivers Water Park conducted a review of its emergency response procedures, emphasizing the importance of swift action in life-threatening situations. Additional AED units were installed throughout the park, and staff underwent refresher training in first aid and CPR to ensure they were prepared for future incidents. Zeender's Splash Village, Michigan, 2018.
10-year-old girl is dead today after suffering an apparent heart attack while in a water slide. As Les Trent reports, her parents think she was excited to death.
On February 18, 2018, 10-year-old London Eisenbeis tragically lost her life after suffering cardiac arrest while riding a water slide at Zeender's Splash Village in Frankenmuth, Michigan. The incident, which stunned the local community, was later attributed to an undiagnosed heart condition known as long QT syndrome, a disorder affecting the heart's electrical system. London had eagerly anticipated riding the park's tallest slide, a thrilling attraction that allowed guests to experience a near-vertical drop. As she reached the bottom of the slide, however, she collapsed suddenly, leaving bystanders and staff scrambling to help. Lifeguards quickly administered CPR and used an automated external defibrillator, AED, in an effort to revive her. Despite their best efforts, London passed away after being transported to a nearby hospital. Long QT syndrome is a genetic condition that can cause dangerous, irregular heart rhythms, particularly during moments of excitement, stress, or intense physical activity. For London, the adrenaline rush of riding the slide likely triggered the fatal arrhythmia. Tragically, her family was unaware of her condition, as she had never exhibited symptoms or undergone screening. Following the incident, London's family launched a campaign to raise awareness about long QT syndrome, advocating for early detection through EKG screenings and educating parents about the warning signs of undiagnosed heart conditions. Their efforts have brought national attention to the importance of preventive health measures in children. Zeender's Splash Village responded by reviewing its emergency protocols and increasing the availability of AEDs throughout the park. Staff received additional training in recognizing and responding to cardiac emergencies, ensuring they were better prepared for similar situations in the future. Adventure Park, Visalia, California, 2024. On August 5, 2024, 11-year-old Richard Winer-Soto suffered a fatal heart attack while waiting in line for a water slide at Adventure Park in Visalia, California. The suddenness of the incident left witnesses shocked and raised questions about the preparedness of recreational facilities to handle unexpected medical emergencies. According to reports, Richard was standing in line with his family when he collapsed without warning. Park staff and bystanders immediately rushed to his aid, performing CPR until emergency responders arrived. Despite their efforts, Richard was pronounced dead after being transported to a local hospital. The cause of death was determined to be cardiac arrest, though further details about his medical history were not disclosed. The tragedy highlighted the importance of emergency preparedness in recreational settings. While Adventure Park had AEDs on site and trained lifeguards available, the incident underscored the challenges of responding to life-threatening medical situations, especially those unrelated to the water attractions themselves. Richard's family, devastated by the loss,
Richard Winer-Soto never met a microphone he didn't like.
emphasized the importance of monitoring children's health, particularly in environments where physical activity or excitement may exacerbate underlying conditions. They expressed gratitude to the park staff and paramedics for their swift response despite the tragic outcome. In the wake of the incident, Adventure Park implemented additional safety measures, including increasing the availability of AEDs and offering advanced first aid training to all staff members. The park also launched a public awareness campaign encouraging visitors to disclose any pre-existing medical conditions when participating in high-energy activities.
My mom, I said, wait for me before you leave because I do want to say bye. just for some reason that day, just my gut just told me just to say that.
Discovery Cove, Orlando, Florida, 2024. In March 2024, Discovery Cove in Orlando, Florida, experienced a devastating tragedy when 13-year-old Anna Beaumont, a visitor from the UK, drowned during a family vacation. Known for its tranquil attractions, including snorkeling lagoons and lazy rivers, the park was unprepared for the heartbreaking loss of life that shocked both staff and visitors. Anna was participating in a snorkeling activity when she disappeared from sight. Lifeguards were alerted and a frantic search ensued. She was found unresponsive underwater and immediately pulled to the surface. Park staff initiated CPR and emergency responders arrived within minutes. Despite their efforts, Anna was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The drowning raised questions about the adequacy of Discovery Cove's safety measures. Witnesses noted that the area was crowded, making it difficult for lifeguards to maintain a clear line of sight. The investigation highlighted the park's staffing levels, training protocols, and the effectiveness of its emergency response system. Critics argued that, even in seemingly low-risk environments, robust safety measures are essential to prevent such tragedies. In response, Discovery Cove conducted a comprehensive review of its operations. The park implemented new safety protocols, including increasing lifeguard presence in high-traffic areas, improving staff training on spotting signs of distress, and installing additional underwater cameras for enhanced visibility. They also updated their visitor guidelines, emphasizing the importance of supervision for younger swimmers and those unfamiliar with water activities. Anna's family expressed their grief and called for stronger regulations in water-based attractions, both in the United States and internationally. Her death served as a sobering reminder that even in controlled environments, the potential for accidents remains, underscoring the need for constant vigilance. Schlitterbahn, South Padre Island, Texas, 2013. On March 6, 2013, a routine maintenance task at Schlitterbahn Water Park in South Padre Island, Texas, turned deadly when 20-year-old employee Nicholas Nico Benavides was fatally injured. The incident involved the park's wave generation machine, a large piece of equipment used to create waves for the attraction's pool. While performing maintenance, the machine was accidentally activated, trapping Benavides between the gate and the wall. OSHA's investigation revealed significant safety violations, including the absence of lockout-tagout procedures, protocols designed to ensure machinery is deactivated during maintenance. Additionally, the park lacked adequate training for employees working with such high-risk equipment. The oversight led to OSHA issuing a $96,000 fine to Schlitterbahn for failing to meet workplace safety standards. The tragedy highlighted the hazards faced by employees in the amusement industry, particularly in environments with complex machinery. Benavides' death prompted a broader conversation about worker safety, emphasizing the importance of rigorous training and proper safety protocols to prevent similar incidents. In the wake of the accident, Schlitterbahn implemented changes to its safety procedures. The park overhauled its maintenance protocols, introduced mandatory safety training programs for all staff, and enforced strict compliance with OSHA regulations. These measures aimed to create a safer workplace environment, but they came too late for Benavides, whose family mourned the loss of a vibrant young man with a promising future. Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom, Pennsylvania, 1994. In the summer of 1994, a tragic incident at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom in Pennsylvania claimed the life of a 14-year-old boy who drowned in the park's wave pool. The boy, attending a school field trip with classmates and chaperones, disappeared beneath the waves during a crowded session. His death not only shocked the community, but also exposed glaring negligence on the part of the park and those responsible for his supervision. The wave pool, one of the park's most popular attractions, was crowded with hundreds of visitors at the time of the incident. According to witness accounts, the boy had been struggling to stay afloat as the artificial waves churned the water. Despite the presence of lifeguards, no one noticed his distress until it was too late. His body was discovered after the wave cycle ended, prompting frantic rescue attempts that ultimately proved unsuccessful. The aftermath of the drowning revealed significant lapses in safety. An investigation found that the lifeguard-to-guest ratio at the wave pool was far below recommended levels, making it nearly impossible for the staff to monitor everyone effectively. Additionally, many of the lifeguards on duty were seasonal employees with minimal training, in identifying and responding to drowning incidents. The school staff accompanying the boy also faced scrutiny for failing to properly supervise the students during the outing. Reports indicated that chaperones were unaware of the boy's whereabouts for an extended period, a delay that may have cost him his life. The victim's family filed a lawsuit against Dorney Park, citing negligence in maintaining adequate safety measures. The court ruled in their favor, awarding the family $10 million in damages. The case served as a wake-up call for amusement parks nationwide, prompting the implementation of stricter safety protocols, including increased lifeguard training, enhanced supervision, and more stringent guest capacity limits in wave pools. Aquatica Orlando, Florida, 2010. In April 2010, a serene day at Aquatica Orlando turned somber when a 68-year-old British tourist was found unresponsive in Roa's Rapids, a popular lazy river-style attraction. The man, whose identity was withheld at the request of his family, was discovered floating face down by other park guests, prompting immediate action by lifeguards. Despite swift CPR efforts, he was pronounced dead shortly after being transported to a nearby hospital. The investigation into the incident revealed that the man had likely died of natural causes, with preliminary findings pointing to a cardiac event as the most probable cause. He had a known history of heart issues, which may have been exacerbated by the combination of warm weather and physical exertion during his time at the park. While his death was not attributed to any fault in the park's operations, it underscored the unpredictable nature of medical emergencies in recreational settings. Witnesses commended the lifeguards for their quick response, noting that they acted decisively to pull the man from the water and administer CPR. Aquatica's emergency protocols, which included the availability of automated external defibrillators, AEDs, and staff trained in advanced first aid, were praised for their effectiveness, even though the outcome was tragic. The incident raised awareness about the importance of pre-existing health conditions and their potential risks in high-energy environments. Following the man's death, Aquatica increased its efforts to educate guests on recognizing personal health limitations while engaging in park activities. The park also expanded its availability of shaded rest areas and encouraged visitors with medical conditions to consult with staff about the suitability of specific attractions. Aquatica San Antonio, Texas, 2018. In July 2018, a day of fun at Aquatica San Antonio took a tragic turn when a 42-year-old woman died after riding the popular Wahala Wave water slide. The incident, which stunned park-goers and staff, raised questions about the safety of water park attractions and the effectiveness of emergency response procedures. The Wahala Wave is a family-style raft ride known for its steep drops and fast turns, offering thrilling experiences to visitors. According to witness accounts, the woman appeared fine after completing the ride, but began to show signs of distress shortly afterward. She collapsed near the ride's exit, prompting immediate action from park staff. Lifeguards and medical personnel performed CPR and used an automated external defibrillator, AED, while awaiting emergency responders. Despite their efforts, she was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The Bexar County Medical Examiner later determined that the woman had suffered a cardiac arrest. Although it was unclear whether the excitement of the ride directly triggered her condition, it was revealed that she had a history of heart problems, which may have been a contributing factor. The ride itself was thoroughly inspected after the incident and found to be functioning properly, ruling out any mechanical failure as a cause. Aquatica San Antonio responded to the tragedy by reviewing and reinforcing its emergency protocols. Staff underwent additional training in recognizing early signs of medical distress, and more AED units were installed throughout the park to ensure faster access during emergencies. The park also introduced new guidelines encouraging guests with pre-existing medical conditions to consult with staff about the suitability of certain attractions. The incident sparked broader discussions about the potential risks of high adrenaline water park rides, especially for individuals with underlying health issues. Advocacy groups emphasize the need for greater public awareness of personal health limitations when participating in thrill-seeking activities. Aquatica, like many other parks, began incorporating health advisories into their signage and promotional materials to help guests make informed decisions. For the woman's family, the tragedy was a devastating loss that turned a recreational outing into a nightmare. Their calls for improved awareness and safety measures resonated with others who had experienced similar situations, prompting industry-wide conversations about the balance between fun and safety at water parks.